Welcome back to Campfire Tales, where the fire burns low and the night weaves stories that claw at your soul. I'm your host, drawing you close to the campfire to unravel tales that echo with ancient sorrow. Tonight we delve into the mournful tale of the Crying Stone, a ghost story carved in rock and whispered across centuries. Why does a stone weep with a voice that knows your name? Let's face the dread together. Settle in, but don't touch the stone. In Tennessee's Appalachian hills, where wind howled through jagged cliffs, Avery, a geologist, charted ancient strata, her journal brimming with sketches of forgotten rocks. Locals spoke in hushed tones of the Crying Stone, a mossy boulder said to weep for Ayoka, a Cherokee woman betrayed, her screams sealed in stone after her lover left her to die. Avery, skeptical but intrigued by the lore, trekked through the rugged hills, her boots crunching on frost-kissed leaves. She found the boulder, its surface slick with water that pulsed faintly as if alive. As her fingers brushed its mossy face, a sharp chill stabbed her hand, like touching a frozen blade, and a low wail moaned, "Why, Avery? Why?" her name twisting in the sound. Her breath caught, curiosity warring with a creeping unease. But the stone's sorrow held her fast, urging her to linger. The air grew heavy with damp earth and a sour tang of grief, the wail swelling into a keening cry, "Free me!" Avery's heart pounded, the stone's water turning crimson, dripping like fresh blood onto the cliffside. The wind howled louder, carrying Ahyoka's voice. "You know my pain," and the cliff seemed to shudder, pebbles skittering like whispers. Avery tried to step back, but her boots sank into the muddy earth, as if the ground itself refused to release her. Her pulse raced, the wail now a scream piercing her skull, echoing through the hills. She ran, branches raking her arms, leaving stinging scratches that burned in the cold. The path twisted unnaturally, cliffs looming closer, their jagged edges like teeth, the air thick with despair. Avery's chest tightened, each breath a struggle against the weight of sorrow, as Ahyoka's whisper hissed, "Don't leave me." She stumbled into a hollow, the Crying Stone looming nearby, its crimson tears pooling in a scarlet ring, the ground trembling beneath her feet. Panic flared as Avery realized she was back at the stone she had been trying to flee from. Darkness encircled Avery, as a deafening scream came from the shadows. "You can't leave." A spectral hand, cold as death, grazed her shoulder, draining her strength, and the wail seemed to pull at her soul. Avery's cries merged with the stones, as the shadows claimed her. The wind fell silent, save for the boulder's mournful moan. Searchers found only her journal, pages soaked crimson beside the Crying Stone, its wails still echoing the unending betrayal of Ahyoka. That's the mournful tale of the Crying Stone, rooted in Appalachian folklore. Born in tales of lost spirits bound to the land, it warns of stones that weep, entwining the curious in their grief. In Ireland's Connemara hills, where gales swept across barren moors, Sean, a farmer, tended sheep near a granite boulder called the Weeping Rock, said to cry for Sheoban, a widow killed in 1847 during the famine, her desperate pleas for aid ignored by passers-by. Sean, practical but drawn to old tales, approached the stone under a darkening sky, its surface slick with water that seemed to shimmer. His fingers brushed it, and a burn like frostbite seared his hand. A low wail rising, "Help me, Sean," the air thick with peat and a bitter sting of despair. His heart raced, the stone's cry weaving into his thoughts, urging him to stay, though a chill coiled deep in his gut, warning him to flee. The wail sharpened, curling through the hills like a banshee's lament, the stone's water darkening to crimson, pulsing like an open wound. Sheoban's whisper hissed, "You ignored me," the gale turning bitter, stinging his face like needles. Sean's hands trembled, the stone's cold sinking into his chest, its surface throbbing as if it breathed. He backed away, but the moor shifted, paths vanishing under his feet, the wail swelling to a scream. "You ignored me!" He tried to run, his boots sinking in boggy earth, thorns tearing at his legs, their sting sharp and relentless, drawing beads of blood. Unable to move, Sean cried out for help. The hills seemed to close in, the weeping rock looming through the gale, its crimson tears dripping into the peat, the ground quaking. Sean's breath came in ragged gasps, the air choking with sorrow, Siobhan's voice keening, "You will never leave me." Sean could feel himself being pulled into the earth. He struggled to get free, but to no avail. The stone screamed deafening, its pulse shaking the moor. A cold hand grazed his neck, sapping his strength, the wail pulling at his very soul. Sean's cries were swallowed by the wind, his body sinking claimed by the bog, his vision fading to crimson. The hills fell silent, save for the stone's mournful cry. Searchers found only his cap, half buried in peat near the weeping rock, its wails still calling Siobhan's unending sorrow. Why do these tales endure? It's the dread of stones that weep, entwining you in a spirit's grief. From Appalachia's haunted hills to Ireland's desolate moors, crying stones bind the unwary to their sorrow. Next time you hear a stone's wail, don't listen. That's all for tonight's Campfire Tales. If these stories made you fear ancient rocks, share them in the comments, or tell us a ghostly tale from your hometown. Next time, we'll unravel the crimson tale of the Red Moon, a legend that'll make you dread locked doors. Until then, keep the fire burning and avoid weeping stones.